As Turkey marks 100 years since its founding, its sights are set beyond stars. The country has taken first steps to join the space race, and one man above all embodies that ambition. Alper Gezeravci is the first Turkish citizen to take that small step beyond Earth and carry out experiments in orbit, part of a 2-week mission aboard the International Space Station. I'm Kubra Akkoc, and I spoke to Turkey's first astronaut, Alper Gezeravci, and asked him what his landmark mission means for future generations. This is One on One. Alper Gezeravci, congratulations on completing Turkey's first manned space mission, and thank you very much for being with us here on TRT World.
Thank you so much for your kindness and giving me the chance to express myself.
I'd like to start with going back to the day of historic liftoff. The whole nation held its breath and watched you blasting off into space. They cried, they prayed for you, they cheered for you. And I'm wondering what was happening inside the rocket. How did you feel at that very moment, at the moment of the liftoff?
Well, I absolutely felt this great amount of feeling, the burst of everybody's excitement, long-awaited historical moment of the launch day, and I absolutely felt the great support of my nations during the execution of the whole flight and the mission. However, that was not the right moment for us to feel the same excitement. We were quite focused and busy with the preparations and the iterations of the steps that we were required to carry out as planned. I was quite focused with that, but still feeling this great burst of excitement of the whole nation.
When you were a little kid, maybe, have you ever thought that you would be an astronaut one day or go to head into space? Or did you have some sort of imagination of space and how it turned out to be? Maybe what made you surprised the most about space?
That's quite an important and really remarkable question, because I could never dream of the space. That has never been a part of my dream, due to the fact that we, as the Republic of Turkey, has never put a will or intention to step into the space. So I was happy with what I had in my hands, and I was really content with the position that I could reach out in terms of dreams. However, I never attempt to dream about the space. When it comes to the space, when I watched it in the movies or documentaries, I would always just encourage myself, hey, stop. That belongs to other nations. That's not a reality that I can reach out here. Dreaming about something is good. How about living in the dreams is something else. So I never really pushed myself to live in that dream. I was just happy with what I was doing, flying with my airplanes.
And during the mission, what did you find the most difficult? What was the biggest challenge for you during the mission?
I can't really think of anything that was challenging to me, because I have a motto for myself. Starting every new step, I encourage myself, if a single individual could ever manage to succeed in something, I can also do it. So my inspiration point is another humankind, something that has never been done by the humankind. I can't really challenge that much. But if it's a single person could ever do something, I can also do that. So I really didn't feel any step of the whole process that was quite challenging and make me felt like really difficult to deal with.
Most people also wonder about the basic things like eating, sleeping, or drinking in space. I remember you shared a picture on social media along with Commander Michael Lopez Alegria. You were eating together. Tell us more about that. How did it go? Like basic things, daily needs, eating, drinking. How did it go for you?
It's just, a little term of getting used to. It's an environment that we do not belong to. It's an environment that we haven't had the chance to experience prior to that moment. So we have some theoretical already information about it, we have some insights based on the previous people experiencing the same thing and sharing their experience, but it takes some time to experience it yourself and having an idea about it.
Most important part of this mission, you carried out some experiments. They were collected from different prestigious institutions and universities across Turkey, and also many students were excited about it because they submitted their experiments, and you took those experiments to space and actually conducted those experiments. Tell us a bit more about them.
So we have carried out 13 experiments over there. All of them are quite important, all of them are quite original in the field that is being handled, implemented. And you know, through the history of International Space Station from the day one, which is November 2000, up until now, almost 3,000 experiments have been carried out. And we have carried out 13 experiments in just 14 days. So that's important. No matter if it was an experiment which was already done, it was still important for us because it is being carried out by a Turkish citizen with a Turkish signature. But I'm quite happy and proud that all of these 13 experiments were quite original, and I believe that it'll put an important contribution into these disciplines in the science. As you mentioned, one of the experiments coming from our students from Mush, which is using propolis as an antibacterial material, which is already tested and found some results, which is proving that the propolis is reacting in an antibacterial effect when it faces with a bacteria. So we were testing the same process in the microgravity environment. If it comes out with the same results as it reacts on Earth. And we were pretty happy, based on the initial observations that I received, that I collected over there. It was reacting the similar manner as we were expecting, as we were already observing on Earth. So as planned for the future of the space ecosystem, the humankind is intending to enlarge this low Earth orbit access to further distances like the Moon, and they're intending to create a new life over there, starting from initial step in the Moon and later in the Mars. So these kinds of natural substances, which could both be used for any kind of life support system, as well as product that can be also consumed later on. So I believe that we are going to come up with a great amount of contributions for the future of the space.
And as you said, you carry Turkish flag in space, and Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan says it's a symbol of Turkey's determination to join the space race, and also it's a symbol of strength of Turkey. Why do you think it's important that Turkey should be in the space race?
Actually, our flag has carried me over there to the space, and I'm so proud of this. And I emphasize this in any single environment that we stepped in over there. It was a great moment of joy, excitement, and then, pride to pass in front of our flag where I hang it up over there in the space station. It's important because even right now, in the year 2024, the Republic of Turkey is the 22nd country which has ever stepped into the International Space Station, which is the biggest man-made scientific laboratory in the space, as well as on our Earth. So it is the 22nd country among 193 countries based on the statistics of the United Nations. That's a great accomplishment. And as you mentioned, it's it's a clear, determined step of this country with its great energy. We are a country in one of the most difficult geopolitical locations through the whole world. We have been already observing it through the history that we came through. And we are a great, really strong nation which could strongly stand out in this land for that many years. We're just reflecting our same strength into the space that we have already deserved so far. We just didn't step in.
And I'd like to ask you about the picture you shared on social media, a picture of Istanbul you have taken in space. How did you feel like? What was your first reaction seeing Istanbul from space, that vision? What was your initial reaction to it?
That's a very good question, actually. Really, a kind of, I felt some goosebumps on my skin because I can depict a little picture, like think about yourself passing through your hometown, but not stopping by in a bus while traveling. You feel that, missing moment, and you feel quite different. We are in quite a good location in terms of ISS routes and orbits. We were passing above our country in about every 3 days in different locations, in different parts of the country, but still in every time, in a missing feeling, I was just running into the cupola in order to see and catch this great beauty of my country from a different angle and to share it with our young generations.
And you said young generations. Actually, I have to ask about this. Do you think your journey will be a source of inspiration for Turkey's future generations so that they can pursue their dreams? You said you wouldn't be able to dream about space. So can Turkey's future generations dream about space?
Absolutely. Not only dreaming, but also putting into their words strongly and into their intention already. If I hear from my 3-year-old nephew that he will be an astronaut one day, that means that we have already created a strong will and a really strong intention in their minds already. It's little seed putting into their mind, and those seeds that we have already put in our young generations will turn out to be a great forest some way.
Alper Gezeravci, thank you very much for joining us here on TRT World.
Thanks so much for giving me the chance.